start off naming the panels, we have the climate control. As we move along, we have rear door control. It controls the rear door. We have the dash fan. We have the driver light. We have the aisle lights. We have the chime enable, turns your chime on and off. It's a little bell that lets the driver know you're trying to get off at a bus stop. You have a speaker selection. You have an idle speed. You can lower your idle, turn up your idle. Very rarely used as a driver. You have your stop engine override. It gives you 30 seconds of power in case you break down at an unsafe location to get to a safe location. You have your start button. You have your pedal adjustment. You have your hazard lights. You have your master switch. Turns stop engine, day run, night run, and night park. Generally, you always run in night run. You have your door switch. You have your left mirror, right mirror switches, which work standard like a general vehicle. We have your safety and engine panel box, which is generally our camera system box that tells us whether our camera system is working or not. Your front roof hatch controls for the front and for the rear. And then down here you have your fire suppressant button, which can only be utilized if you see fire, not smoke. It's a fire extinguisher inside of the engine compartment, and it will be triggered if the heat gets too high. And then down at the bottom you have your parking brake. It can be called a maxi brake. It's basically a brake that makes sure that you secure your coach. On the top left we have our temp, a hot and off. We have a fresh and a circulating knob. We have a defroster knob, which has to be turned on during the pre-trip. Make sure it's fully functioning. We have that driver AC light. We have our windshield wipers, left and right windshield wipers switch to turn off and on. We have our front air pressure gauge, rear pressure gauge, and then we have our fuel pressure, fuel gauge. On top of the fuel gauge, we have a warning interlock deactivated light. You never want to take out a bus if it has a warning interlock deactivated light on. And right next to the warning interlock deactivated light, we have our gauges that can symbolize anything from a check engine, stop engine, anything of that nature that could put the bus in harm for not operating correctly. The stop request has a big red button. It will generally tell the driver when a passenger is trying to get off the bus. Another panel that can have anything from a high beam to a check engine, anything with like a parking brake. You always make sure you keep on that panel. You don't have any lights that are coming on, and if needed, report to dispatch. You have your speedometer. You have your kneel button. You have your stow flow, which is generally to retract and extend your ramp. And then you have a panel light switch. And then don't forget, you do have your transmission switch.